What's up, fantasy sports fans? Philly D here on No Limit Fantasy Sports for some Week 10 NFL action. Sign up, No Limit Fantasy Sports. Use my link, 25% deposit bonus. Also offering some of the best affiliate link bonuses in the game. How's everybody doing? Who's excited for Week 10? The season's starting to unfold. Starting to see the playoff picture. Playoffs? Yes, the playoffs. But we're here for some daily action on one of the hottest worldwide fantasy sports there is. Gotta love it. Russell Wilson already played. Deshaun Watson not suspended, on IR, injured reserve. Leaves us Dak Prescott as the top dog against Atlanta. Gotta love it. Zeke suspended. Does that hurt or help Dak? Interesting. I think he's going to have to throw a little bit more. I think he's going to have to run a little bit more. I think he's going to have to score a little bit more fantasy points. And you gotta love that. Drew Brees playing Buffalo. Buffalo defense great. Well, until last week, or except last week. And the Jets kind of play pretty good ball against the Bills, so it's going to be a great game. Buffalo, New Orleans, one of the games I'm loving. I don't know if the defense is going to be there or not. Buffalo, you never know. They have a great defense, but they can fall flat sometimes. Should be a great game. I think it'll be a little bit lower scoring than we're used to. I think this might be a defensive battle. Matt Stafford getting to play Cleveland. I picked him last week. I picked him the week before. He's giving me those 20 fantasy points. Like to see a little more. I'd definitely like to see a little more against Cleveland. Great play this week. We got Tom Brady all the way down here. Playing Denver. Denver tends to just destroy New England. But Denver is not playing like they believe in themselves. They fell off. They lost to the Giants, guys. And they just can't get up, you know? Look for Tom Brady to get some revenge in this game. He's probably still a little PO'd from losing that AFC Championship game 2 years ago against against the defense, really. Ben Roethlisberger coming in next against Indianapolis. Oh my goodness, can I get him on enough teams? That's all I'm asking. You like to have some variance. You don't want to put one player on every team, but I'm just like, oh, Ben, on the road, looks like he's playing horrible ball. But, I mean, I just love this matchup. Indianapolis decimated. Vontae Davis out by his own will. So the defense not looking too great. I love Ben this week. What else we got going on? Matt Ryan playing the Cowboys, who are surprisingly playing decent ball on the defensive side. Love it. Here's somebody I think is very underpriced right now. Cam Newton, projected to be one of the highest scoring quarterbacks this week. Playing Miami, like the matchup couldn't be juicier. I'm not sure why he's all the way down here. Great quarterback play there. Tyrod Taylor, price has shot up a little bit on him finally. It's been under 6K all year. And finally, now he's playing New Orleans. It's a pretty tough defense. So I don't know. Are they really saying, hey, Calvin Benjamin's on the team, he's gonna score an extra touchdown a game? Like, I don't know. A lot of great quarterbacks on bye this week, unfortunately. So, I mean, you got Josh McCown in the top 15. That's just like, what? Playing against the Jets, playing against Tampa Bay this week, so I can see why Tampa Bay without their quarterback for the week, Winston, putting in Fitzpatrick. Now, I like Fitzpatrick, and I think the price is really low on him. But the one thing I don't like is he used to play for the Jets. The Jets might just be licking their chops, getting ready to eat some Fitzpatrick. They'll be like, hey, maybe now that you play for another team, you'll throw it to us. So that should be a pretty good matchup. I like the Jets D, but again, Fitzpatrick, you never know. He just might show up like he did a couple years ago and throw 4 touchdowns on him. Alrighty, let's head over to running backs. I mean, just tons of news, tons of situations to look at. Le'Veon Bell, the top dog, almost 10K. Salary cap here, 52.5, so we're talking almost 20% of your salary on Le'Veon Bell. And if you want to score 200 points, 20% is 40. Who's he playing again? Oh yeah, Indianapolis. I'd be surprised if Le'Veon Bell drops 60. Alright? Ezekiel Elliott, suspension back on, suspension off, suspension on, suspension off. For me, it's a game time decision every dang time. Apparently, he can't appeal for 4 weeks, but I've heard so many things on this. For now, he's out. What does that mean for the backups? You go with McFadden, you go with Morris. I don't know. I go with Dak, baby. That's the running back I trust on the Cowboys right now is Dak Prescott. Todd Gurley, love it. Got me just a ton of fantasy points last week. And I expect him to get a couple fantasy points this week, too. I skipped over Jared Goff. They're playing Houston. Houston D, kind of tightening up. They lost to Indy, I believe, last week. And that's just sad. Or they won by, I can't remember. They either won or lost by, I know it was 1 point. Just not feeling it. Kareem Hunt on a much-needed bye. The Chiefs on a much-needed bye. Hopefully they can come back like they usually do. The second half of the season team. See if they can get a streak going. Fournette getting some rest. I think he's been off for 2 weeks. Let's see if he can come back hot. Dropping fantasy points like they're hot. Who we got after Fournette? LaShawn McCoy looking for a bounce-back week. 2.5 points last week against the Jets. I'd like to see him get about 25. But you never know this New Orleans defense when they show up, when they don't. Cameron Jordan, just a beast. Mark Ingram on the other side plays Buffalo. Buffalo's run defense, we know what it is. The Jets tore them up last week. Look for them to tighten it back up, though. Mark Ingram. That brings me to my next point. Here's Alvin Kamara. Look at the price spike on Alvin Kamara. Just insane. Almost 7K. Just under Melvin Gordon. Which one do you like better out of these three, you know? Melvin Gordon, he's been in the top 5 running backs a few times. Mark Ingram's been the number 1 running back a few times. Alvin Kamara, sneaking up there, though. Don't sleep on him. Christian McCaffrey, you know what it is. If you're going with Cam, you're going with McCaffrey. Now that Benjamin's out of town, Olsen's gone, you have 2 options in Carolina, really. You have McCaffrey, you have Funchess. Who do you trust? I'll be taking my chances with McCaffrey. The rushing yards aren't really there, but he did get that touchdown last week, which is super encouraging. Jonathan Stewart pretty much just like warming his spot on the bench every time he fumbles a ball, which is sad because nobody loves Jonathan Stewart more than me. He's been on most of my fantasy teams the last couple of years. I'm one of those quiet guys. Reminds me of Lamar Miller this year. Lamar Miller, not in the top 10 running backs, but in price-wise, but he is in the top 10 as far as fantasy points. Very quietly, you gotta love him. Jerick McKinnon, right? Just having a great season. That's awesome. Carlos Hyde, very low price. He always is. Playing the Giants. What do you think of that? Also, very low price, I think under 4K or somewhere around 4K, is Orleans Darkwa playing San Francisco. San Francisco giving up the most fantasy points to running backs. I like Darkwa. I like Hyde. I like them both. I think they're both on one of my teams, to be honest with you. Jordan Howard should have a great week this week. I like Jordan Howard and the Chicago defense as a pair. Something cool on this site too, you can actually click on their social media pages, all the players playing against Green Bay. Green Bay, I think Green Bay's beaten Chicago, I don't know how many times in a row, right? But Chicago D, Jordan Howard, love the matchup this week. What else do we have around here? Adrian Peterson, we saw what he did, we saw what he didn't do. There's Alfred Morris. Jamal Charles, is he going to get the ball this week after some very disappointing C.J. Anderson work? I don't know. Check out what we got here. There's my man Lamar Miller on the second page. Like, just highly got noticed right now. I mean, he got me 22 fantasy points. I mean, when you play on the same team as Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, Will Fuller tearing it up, who thinks about Lamar Miller? This guy does. Playing the Rams. The Rams playing great ball. Not exactly the best run defense in the league, though. Although Donaldson is getting pretty healthy, as I've been watching the last couple weeks. There's McFadden. You know, they're expecting Morse to get the start. I'm not exactly sure what's going to go down there. McFadden is a workhorse. Morris, not so much. Like, he did have the 1,600-yard season in Washington, and he is the backup running back. But I don't know. I just trust McFadden more. When last year when Zeke was suspended, they put McFadden in as the starter. Maybe it's because he knows the offense a little better. Who knows? DeMarco Murray banged up. But, geez, he's still getting some fancy points here and there. Derrick Henry right underneath. I love how they put him right together. It's like, we don't know either. Just pick one. I like Derrick Henry. Murray's hamstring just not looking great. You can tell. It's not looking good, not looking great. Let's take it over to wide receivers. Yeah, if I skip over a player, guys, feel free to leave a comment. Leave me a question. Should I start this guy over this guy? I'm all about it. Drop me a question on YouTube or Facebook. You can check me out. Top wide receiver for the 10th week in a row, just about. Antonio Brown playing Indianapolis without Avonte Davis back there. Oh my goodness. You know I got the Ben Antonio connection on this game. Julio Jones playing the Cowboys. Julio Jones, in and out the game last week. In a play, out of play. In a play, out of play. In a play, out of play. Still gets you 100 yards. Love Julio. Cannot say enough about him. AJ Green. How's his hand doing? Punching a helmet repeatedly. I'm surprised he's not suspended. He should be suspended. Anyways. Who else we got? Hopkins. Last week, Hopkins had 16 targets to catch 6 balls. Excuse me. He did have that touchdown to save his week. Not really a huge fan right now. Mike Evans out. Mike Evans. AJ Green punches guys, and it's just like, oh, it's AJ Green. He's not like that. Mike Evans punches a guy. It's like, you're suspended. Mike Evans is a bad man. Michael Thomas playing Buffalo. Not overly, liking that one. But Michael Thomas, Drew Brees, you gotta love it anyways. Amari Cooper, Mr. Drops, leading the league in drops. Leading my team in bench. No, I was kidding. He was on the waiver wire in one of my leagues. I didn't pick him up. Somebody else did, and yeah, I got the 40 points for him, but whatever. That's just what he does. Dez Bryant, questionable. Keep an eye on that. If Dez doesn't play, Terrence Williams. If he doesn't play, Cole Beasley, Jason Witten. The Cowboys just have weapons upon weapons. All I know is I'm starting Dak, and I'm going to pair him with whoever the heck is playing. Golden Tate, getting the respect from Detroit, playing Cleveland. Personally, I'd go with Marvin Jones or any Jones. If your last name is Jones and you play on Detroit, I'll pick you. Krabs, I love him. Derek Carr, I love him, but Krabs, man, you're not catching that rock, baby. The name of the game is football. And the way to play this game is catching the football. Show me how it's done this week. Thielen, I mean, you know, what's the quarterback situation over there? Tyreek Hill, oh my gosh, did you see that play last week against the Cowboys? Oh, 7 guys in front of me. I'm just going to go this way and then through all of you. That was awesome. As a Cowboys fan, I was like, that is not awesome. But I had to tip my hat for the Cowboys coming back strong and getting the win there. Doug Baldwin, you know what it is. He's good every week for some very, very productiveness. I don't even know what to say. Doug Baldwin, Russell Wilson, they're just like men amongst boys when you watch them play. Alright, what else do we got? Lots of wide receivers, especially in the mid-tiers. I liked a lot of these guys. Wide receivers real tough this year. The running backs are outperforming them on a weekly basis. I like mid-tier guys. Doug Baldwin on my team. There's Marvin Jones. Was talking about him before. Demaryius Thomas against the Patriots. The Patriots terrible against the pass. Denver terrible at the pass. Who's the darn quarterback? Simeon? No. Osweiler? No. Lynch? Why aren't we seeing no Lynch? Because he's that bad? He can't be that much worse. Alright, what's he going to do? Throw 3 interceptions? The other 2 do that too. Alright, come on, give him a chance. Free Paxton, baby. Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry, Devontae Parker. Which one you going to go with? The defense, horrible matchup. I don't know, man. I really don't know what to do with that situation. Brandon Cooks, low price. Look at this. I think he's in the top 10 or he's 11 for receivers on the season. Yeah, that's a big game or a bust. Playing Denver. What Denver are we going to get, guys? Which Denver are we going to get? Then we got Devontae Parker. T.Y. Hilton. Oh, I only got 175 yards last week. No big deal. Don't pick me. What, you think Pittsburgh's going to stop T.Y. Hilton? Low priced. I think it's a deal. Pittsburgh does have a very good pass defense, though. And here's Funchess. Pretty much the only Carolina receiver. Dirt cheap. This is where I started running into like, oh my gosh, look at all these guys. Look at all these guys. Keenan Allen down here as well. We'll go back up. Scroll down. Scroll up. So many players. So many plays. There's Funchess at the top. Juju Smith. Price just skyrocketed for him after last week. I like him though. Chris Hogan. Still in the top 15 in receivers, I believe. I could be wrong here, but I think he's still doing pretty good. Just having a great season. Injured, not injured. Keep an eye on it. I like it. He's sitting on my bench for the playoffs. Sterling Shepard. Here's somebody everybody's talking about. Been waiting for him to come back from injury. Playing San Francisco. The only professional receiver on the lineup, or in the team, you know. No Brandon Marshall, no Odell Beckham. Sterling Shepard. Time to shine, buddy. Kind of reminds me of Odell Beckham when he came into the league. They had Victor Cruz injured. Now remember, Victor Cruz was the man the year before. Mr. Salsa. And what happened to Victor Cruz the minute Odell Beckham came in the league? Victor Cruz lost the spotlight, and he lost his mojo. So I'm not guaranteeing this to happen, but I think Sterling Shepard, Eli Manning, keep an eye on it. Even for season long, if he is not owned, pick him up, stash him on your bench. I remember that year with Odell Beckham as a rookie. I picked him up right around week 10. I ended up winning my league. Thank you very much. All right. And if the Giants are going to be trailing in every game, they got to throw it. So here's Keenan Allen. Wow. How many people drafted Keenan Allen and were like, oh gosh, if he gets injured, I'm screwed. But if he plays, I'm great. Keenan Allen not having the greatest season. Look for him to bounce back second half. Larry Fitzgerald, the man, just got it done. on Thursday Night Football. Alshon Jeffrey on bye. Jordy Nelson. I mean, look at these top 5 guys. Jordy Nelson was a top 5 receiver last year. Now he's all the way down to like 20-something, 30-something. Ted Ginn, one of Drew Brees' favorite receivers out there in New Orleans. And Buffalo, they are susceptible to the deep ball. I do believe that. All right, tight ends. Let's go hit up some tight ends, baby. One of my favorite categories. All right, number 1. Who do we got? Oh, it's Rob Gronkowski. Did we forget about him? Denver susceptible to the tight end. Rob Gronkowski is the tight end. Price still $7K. Tough to pay that much. Sometimes it's just fun to get a little Gronk on your team. No, get a little party happening. Zach Ertz on bye. Travis Kelce on bye. Evan Ingram, the second highest paid tight end, playing San Francisco. Now, Evan Ingram going up. The Giants really had nobody to throw to. So you had Evan Ingram. Well, now you got Shepard back. Now, Eli Manning does love his tight ends. San Francisco, not necessarily a terrible team against tight ends. Not sure about this play. I'm going to fade it. I think a lot of people are going to pick it up. He and Shepard are probably going to be both high owned, so I don't know. Jimmy Graham having a great couple games lately. Jack Doyle, he's playing okay ball, getting about 10 fantasy points a game in PPR formats. That's fantastic. Jordan Reed, not having a great year. Let's just say it how it is. I feel more comfortable when Jordan Reed is out and picking up Vernon Davis than when he's in and playing Jordan Reed. Delaney Walker, I love him. It's always been one of my favorite tight ends in the game. Austin Seferian-Jenkins fell off a little bit last week, I believe. Look for him to bounce back. On that Jets team, let's talk about it. The receivers, Curse and Robbie Anderson, might be just fantastic plays this week. If you want to go contrarian, I think one of the great plays, hit up McCown and pair him with little Robbie Anderson, Jermaine Curse action. I like that play. That'll be on one of my teams for sure. There I said Vontae Davis, the aforementioned. Kyle Rudolph, gotta love him. Kind of fell off lately. As far as what's up with what's up? Minnesota playing Washington. I like it. Like Kyle Rudolph. I really do. No matter who the quarterback is, sometimes when your quarterback when your quarterback sucks, sometimes it's good to pick up the tight end because he can't throw the ball to anybody else. We got Jason Witten against the Atlanta Falcons. If Dez is out, Witten's in. All right. Yes, Beasley is going to get you 4 catches, 30 yards, and probably a touchdown or 2, which is, hey, that's great. Let's be honest. But Witten's going to get you those possessions. Witten will get 6 catches minimum, 70 yards, maybe score, maybe not. I love him this week. Keep an eye on that Dez situation. If Dez is out, I don't say fade Witten at all. Like a lot of people do fade Witten. You ready? Jared Cook last week for Oakland just had a monster week. See what he can do. Cameron Brate, price is low, still one of the top 5 tight ends. O.J. Howard caught a touchdown, big whoop. I am a little afraid of Fitzpatrick, not really a big... he doesn't really target the tight ends too much, but, I mean, you gotta throw to somebody. If Mike Evans is out, Humphreys, Deshaun Jackson. Think about this Tampa Bay New York Jets game. That's all I'm saying. Alright, I'm going to skip over kickers. Kickers this week. Zerline, obviously the number 1 kicker of the season. been having a great year. I love Matt Prater for the Lions. You know, just basically who gets you the most fantasy points as a kicker, pick them. They all cost the same, $2,500 on No Limit Fantasy Sports. I love this feature. Every kicker, $2,500. All you gotta do is pick the best one. Defense. Jacksonville Jaguars. You know what it is. You know what you're gonna get. You get yourself about 5 sacks and an interception. Maybe a pick 6, maybe a fumble recovery. Who knows? Lions playing Cleveland. I mean, you gotta like that. The Lions have a good defense. As I was saying this week, I like the Chicago defense playing Green Bay, and they're pretty low owned. Pittsburgh against Indianapolis. That should be a juicy pick right there too. The Rams. The Carolina Panthers. The D's up there. Why isn't Cam Newton up there? You know? We all know what it is. The Patriots against Denver up there. I mean, this is real sneaky. If you have the guts to pick the worst pass defense in the league against Denver, I respect that. Excuse me. The Saints against the Bills. I mean, what it is. The Bills offense played horribly last week against the Jets. What are they going to do against New Orleans? Hey, you know, my thoughts is they could blow them out of the water, so I don't really care. Green, the Pack is up there in D, just because, like, you know, Chicago's offense isn't all that, or hasn't been all that, but, you know, let's see some Jordan Howard. Let's see you guys get back that running game. Well, I mean, not get back to that is what you do. I mean, you know, hit the running backs, and let's get some play action fakes going, guys. I think Trubisky could just shine, and we get those play actions going, right? That's going to do it for my top plays of the week, guys. Like I said, quarterback, I definitely like Matt Stafford, Cam Newton, Dak Prescott. You know what it is. Running backs, I like those low-priced ones this week. The Giants, Darkwa, I like Hyde. Wide receivers, those mid-tier guys, the ones I'm targeting. Devin Funchess, maybe. Oh, and the running backs, don't forget about McCaffrey, right? Again, with the wide receivers, Demaryius Thomas, maybe. You know, it's sneaky plays like that gets you up over here on the right as the top 5 managers. Isn't that pretty cool? This is the homepage. You get spotlighted every week. The top dogs on site. On the left, they highlight the top players at each position. The quarterbacks, the running backs. Every position. No Limit Fantasy Sports, guys. Sign up. Use the link below. 25% deposit bonus. You're going to love it. Got the contest down here. Lots of contests. Lots of money to be won. Site is going bananas. You've seen the ads on RotoWire. Here's the site. That's going to do it for me this week. Take it easy.